All right, so this video is about how many people debunked themselves in the year 2020, the year of clarity. And just to break this down a little bit, since many people are a year behind, they're saying 2021's a year of clarity. You're a year late. I forecasted in 2019 that 2020 would be a year of clarity, right? Makes sense. Think about it. It was just based on the gimmickry of the numbers. 2020, year of clarity. Makes perfect sense, right? Who knew how clear it would be? Seriously, who knew how clear it would be? Dude, year of clarity was so clear. I mean, everybody jumped up and down and they said, I'm the problem, I'm the problem. And many of them did so while saying, you're the problem. Did you notice that? That was, it couldn't have been more clear. So what do you have to say, folks? Leave us a comment. Let us know how clear the year of 2020 was to you. Did it did it cause some did it cause some connections to get made? Did it cause some some light bulbs to kind of turn on or anything like that? Like was that a thing that happened? Because it was awfully clear to us and I don't just mean individual people. Let me tell you, I don't just mean individual people at all. I'm talking about entire corporations, entire bureaucratic structures, um, geographic regions, demographic regions, giant groups of people are just all of a sudden decided that the one half completely disagrees with the other half, and that they're at least half of practically every population has taken measures that make zero sense and demonstrate some sort of a mass insanity. Now, many of you may watch. You probably watch. Let's see. Do you watch Gad Sad, Jordan Peterson, people like that? People think that Gad Sad and Jordan Peterson are political. People think that I'm political. People think that I'm political. People don't watch our daily space weather videos because there's too much politics shoved in there, allegedly. I mean, every conversation has the potential to devolve into politics depending on who you're talking to at this particular junction in history. If you wanted to live in interesting times, well, congratulations. A light bulb just went on above my head because, yeah, it's pretty interesting what's been going on. So anyway, to sum it up, regarding the year 2020 being a year of clarity, 2020 has absolutely been a year of clarity. I mean, it was a year of clarity. I mean, who did not discover things that you never would have expected? How many people, entities, organizations, areas, like entire entire countries, how many of those places completely debunked themselves in the year 2020? I mean, I could just rattle off a giant list, but let us know in the comments because YouTube is an interactive medium. And I'm very interested to know who debunked themselves. So, I mean, let's see. I guess I can give one example. My employer debunked itself to the point where it's going to be, yeah, it's, now I have about 5 jobs. So I guess I won't divulge which employer that might be, but one of my employers isn't going to be my employer very long. So there's that. That entity has entirely debunked itself in 2020. By the time of New Year's Eve, there were so many debunkings that it was unbelievable. And I'll give another example too. Tom Wolf, governor of Pennsylvania, has completely debunked his authority, understanding of the Constitution of the U.S., much less Pennsylvania's state constitution. Uh, and so, yeah, so those are two shining examples of debunked entities. Um, and again, I could rattle off a giant list, but let us know in the comments. Tell us who you think debunked themselves in in the yes, it's a debunking party, Keebs. Exactly. So let's see. How about I've got a good one for you. Forbes. Forbes. Forbes debunked itself in the year 2020. Now, I don't remember what it was about. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was about silver prices or if it was about freaking COVID. I have no idea. I don't remember what it was. I do not remember how Forbes debunked itself, but it absolutely debunked itself. And a light bulb went off in my head. And I thought, geez, there's got to be a better way. Better news distillation services. And of course, I don't typically do economics, but occasionally we do go into the realm of economics when certain things occur. Some of you may have noticed that we reported on silver prices when they were less than $12 an ounce, and we sort of highlighted that little data point that you may find interesting. Leave us a comment if you've tripled your money on silver or doubled your money, over doubled your money on silver. How much is it now? 27 an ounce, I think, something like that. So less than a year ago, folks, silver was at less than $12 per ounce. There's that. Um, and and by the way, I don't know if you've noticed the shortages in precious metals, but I tried to purchase silver back then, and it just simply wasn't happening. I could not have purchased physical silver that I'm aware of at the time. So there's that. But in any case, back to debunking. So now you may think somebody like CNN or like big tech organizations, various big tech organizations, you may have thought that they debunked themselves, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with that because I think they were long ago debunked as being utterly biased and so on. So I don't think we would really include any big tech names. I mean, some of them escalated things to a level that we wouldn't have expected, like Amazon cutting off server services from Parler. That was that was sort of unprecedented, I'd say. But in any case, yeah, just just reflecting on who else got debunked. Of course, in the science realm, I wouldn't really. I don't think there was really too much science debunking, except in the case of Dr. Fauci, who has personally flip-flopped on every single issue. There should be like a Debunkos award, right? There should be like an award, somebody gets a trophy for debunking themselves the most. Um, there's always a bunch of cults going on planet Earth. I don't think those cults particularly just debunked themselves last year. I think most of those cults just debunk themselves constantly because in order to be in the cult, you have to believe nonsense. And in order to create a cult, you have to create nonsense. So there's that. I don't think, I mean, maybe there's a new cult that you're aware of. But cults always debunk themselves because there's always some point at which you're expected to believe nonsense. So, that's sort of the defining feature. So, a little more about cults, whether it's whether it's like some kind of I don't know, the cult of Moloch, right? Where your hobby is to try to eat babies or something. You have cakes that are shaped like babies at your parties. Of course, you don't really eat babies. You don't really eat babies. Wink, wink, wink. We don't do it. We don't encourage cannibalism. Wink, wink, wink. Or like the Nazi party, the party who inherently thinks that there's some sort of intrinsic advantage in every way to the white man over other people, and then Jesse Owens houses everybody in sprint racing or something on the track at the Olympics. Stuff like that. um, ridiculous nonsense. When you're expected to believe ridiculous nonsense that simply isn't the case in order to be in the cult, it's a cult, depending on some other factors, of course. But that is the common thread. So all cults require the belief in nonsense, and so that's why they're always debunking themselves. But I don't know. I don't really know of any new ones. You know what I'm saying? Like the cult of Moloch is actually the oldest, maybe the oldest, one of the oldest, certainly one of the oldest cults in the world. It comes basically from before recorded history, from when Moses noticed his people, quote, worshiping the golden calf. Did you ever hear that? Worshiping the golden calf, folks. That means that's a Moloch reference right there. So that's one of the cults that people seem to think is still a problem. Most of them are just, a nuisance. Most of them are a nuisance at best. Uh, you could say Freemasons are a cult, maybe. You could say certain certain YouTube channels run cults. But in any case, so who else debunked themselves? I mean, various corporations. Leave us a comment. Let us know if specifically there's a corporation that you've got on your list. Um, I think Amazon really did themselves a massive disservice by cutting off somebody's ISP. What they did is they cut off the data storage cloud servers, so they couldn't access those anymore, which means they couldn't access their code libraries. They couldn't access Parler itself. They pulled the plug quite literally on the hardware on which all of the data that is what Parler is were stored. So they violated their contract. They probably returned the money that was owed. They certainly probably turned over the data, as it's turned into a federal crime to destroy proprietary data uh, in the early 2000s. I remember when I worked for an insurance company and somebody deleted my hard drive without my permission. And I had all kinds of important documents on there, including work and non-work documents. They destroyed the data. They always take images. They take hard drive images of your entire hard drive before they delete it at that place. And I said, restore my hard drive, and then I'll give it back to you so that I can get the information off my hard drive that you deleted. And then I told my direct upstream manager that it's actually a federal crime to delete people's data, especially if you do it intentionally. So yeah, I got it all back, and I don't think the boss was particularly happy. And she's probably not particularly happy today either, because she sucks at life, just like she sucks at selling insurance. She was telling agents like which calls they should be pursuing farther and which calls they should be abandoning for greener pastures. And the one day I just had to break it down and say, Carol, you haven't made a sales call in 14 years. So frankly, you have no idea what you're talking about. Customers don't behave in the same way as they did 14 years ago. And if you don't believe me, why don't you take some calls? Needless to say, Carol didn't like that very much. But I didn't get fired because she had no basis for firing me. You know why? Because it was true. Anyway, since then I've gotten out of the financial services industry because it's full of crooks. All right, so who else debunked themselves? Oh, financial institutions. Financial institutions debunked themselves. Um, I don't know so much the Federal Reserve, they were long since debunked, but various banks. I know various banks failed at their own basic existence in the year 2020. And so what does it really all boil down to, folks? What does all of it mean? What does all of it mean? Some entities upheld the same standard of integrity and or believability and or, credit for things when it came to the year of clarity, 2020, and others debunked themselves. And many others were already debunked. So again, leave us a comment. Let us know. I can't read these comments very well. Let me turn up the brightness here so I can see my screen. There we go. And thanks for leaving comments, Keebs and Kimberly and whoever else decided to leave comments. Um, and so what's the point? What does it all mean, folks? Well, I've got an idea. I've got an idea in response to the year of clarity. And the idea is accountability. Because what else is going to be the response when you see pathetic entities debunking their own credibility, debunking their own justification for power and existence, debunking their own words with words that follow? What is the net effect? Well, it's supposed to be accountability. So, and of course, here at smashomash.com, and I think Smash staff agrees, that we felt great when we deleted certain channels from our subscriptions. And of course, I would never suggest that you should go unsubscribe from anybody on YouTube. But frankly, the reason why people won't subscribe is because they have so much nonsense in their feed in the first place that they don't even watch. They're all worried about what the title's going to be or what the thumbnail is going to have on it, and then they don't watch the videos. So what's the point? So yeah, we've gotten rid of some. I'll leave their names out of this. I won't defame any YouTube channels. I would never do such a thing. You know, I wouldn't want a team of attorneys tracking me down because I've debunked too much nonsense on YouTube. You know, it's very scary. Unless of course you're right, then it's really not that scary because you'll just debunk their nonsense again and nothing will happen except you'll laugh in their face. So in any case, if you're going to hold somebody accountable, make sure it's legal. Let me just put that out there because I know a lot of people say a lot of stupid things on YouTube, and like Jordan Peterson, I try to say a lot of smart things on YouTube. So here's another smart thing. When it comes to accountability, stick with options that are legal. I know, it sounds nuts, right? Yeah. Don't say stupid stuff on social media and tell people to do things that aren't legal. That's stupid. And if you're working for a tech firm, you know, a big tech company that might be censoring this very video, consider the constitutionality of your actions. Because what we see here is we see people enforcing on a entirely voluntary basis a bunch of rules that have no basis in constitutionality. So this boils down to half of the population thinking it's okay to make you wear a mask or not wear a mask. I mean, but in any case, year of accountability is the result of year of clarity. So again, if you've got any specific entities that you'd like to, and I'll be adding entities to this list. I mean, I'll have to have further debunking parties because this is YouTube and there is a lot of nonsense to debunk. In fact, I think I will call out one channel that we deleted, Gina Maria Colvin Hill. If you want to watch some nonsense, and look, go subscribe. Go subscribe. You will eventually be nauseated by the putrid crap and nonsense that comes out of that channel. It is the most ridiculous YouTube channel that I've ever seen. And there is so much crap out there. I mean, I know there's like flat earth channels. There's guys swinging buckets of water around with on a rope and things to say, look, that's why the firmament and shit like this. It's insane-o. It'll hurt your freaking brain-o. It's pretty stupo. Did you get duped, yo? I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. Gina Maria Colvin Hill. Go ahead. Go check out that channel. I dare you. I dare you. You'll watch like 3 videos and you will be angry at how stupid it is. I mean, video footage of security cameras, right? Filming through 2 panes of glass, an illuminated nighttime outdoor street scene just after a rainstorm with rain droplets all over the one of the panes of glass are plasma discharges over France. That is how idiotic this channel is. How about a flock of birds is actually aliens? How about a cloud is an alien spacecraft? How about plasma discharges on the sun are beings? And you'll be being dumber than when when you first showed up on the channel. You'll start out, the average person will start out at a 100 IQ, and each Gina Maria Colvin Hill video you watch, you will lose 0.05 IQ points. So, go ahead, go watch 100 Gina Maria Colvin Hill videos. If you don't vomit in your own lap, I don't know how you were able to do it, because it is the dumbest channel. And by the way, she makes an estimated $300,000 a year in Google ad revenue. $300,000 a year. Gina Maria Colvin Hill. Go ahead. Go watch. I guess that's an endorsement. No, seriously though, we have removed multiple annoying channels because look, the way YouTube is organized, you have to be scrolling. You have to like scroll through your subscriptions, and then you like gotta go to channels that you like, and you gotta scroll through the videos that they made because who knows if they're going to appear. I mean, we have trouble finding our own videos sometimes. We spend most of our time on YouTube actually creating content, not watching it. And like half of the content that we watch is our own content because I have to be the editor in chief. I have to make sure I didn't say anything that was too, oh, did he go over the line? I'm one of those people that HR doesn't like because I know exactly where the line is, and then I dance exactly on the line. It's it's a mess. So yeah, who else has been debunked? I know nobody watches the mainstream news anymore. Like, are you kidding me? Like you have to watch the mainstream news in 3 different locations and then undistill the story from whoever put their own opinions in it. It's insane. You read the same story on like HuffPo and then go look at it on whatever, the Washington Examiner, whatever a quote right wing and left wing are now meaningless. How about that? Those terms are now meaningless because now nobody knows what anything is. It's insane. It's now anybody who, I don't know, who's the most right wing person in the world. People think the Nazis were right wing. It's insane. Kimberly says she doubled her money on silver. That's insane. You doubled your money on silver? That is awesome. That makes me happy. I had no idea. Flat earthers debunk themselves on a second by second basis, Mr. Keebler. Good morning to Pizza Hut. Did I pronounce your name right? Social distancing is an oxymoron, says James B. Wave Artist. Well done. Road Warrior says Disney. I believe he means Disney debunked itself. Yeah, I think the news debunked itself back in the Obama days because the way Obama was treated by the news, like if you didn't notice the news, it was already debunked long before Trump was president. I mean, like, look, what person on the left is going to stand there and try to say the news is objective? Like, are you kidding me? Could it not be any more obvious how CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and all the rest of the mainstream news is completely biased, completely in the bag, total corporatists. people that what about the term conservative? I think the term conservative is officially debunked because nobody seems to know what it means. I don't even, I honestly don't know what the term conservative means. I never try to use it because it doesn't make any sense. What does the term conservative even mean? Leave us a comment. I mean, I fall on the less government side of things and slightly left of center on social issues, pretty much. It makes me, I'm not going to say it. Yes, it makes me a fiscal conservative and a social, not really a leftist, but I'm left of center. And it's just because I typically don't really care what most people are doing. As long as it's not causing some sort of a direct harm on me, why would I care? If you want to bathe in goat's blood or something, like, have at it. Seems like a kind of a gross idea, but I mean, you may be into doing weird rituals or like whatever, as long as it doesn't do direct harm. If you're if you want to bathe in my blood that I've donated or sold to you, have at it. It's not going to do anything. Oh, it's we're gonna cast a doom spell using your blood. You'll be implicit in our wizardry. Oh noes. They've been sacrificing babies. That's why they have so much power. Oh, it's so scary. Oh noes. The Church of Moloch is coming for your baby. Get yourself in your bunker now. Like, really? Most of this cult crap is generally a joke. Anyway, I think it's about time to close this thing out. Please make sure that you do your part in making the year of accountability a thing. There are various entities that need to be accountable, and if you need to go to an attorney's office to sue your employer instead of going to work today, please do. And yeah, that's basically about it. But yeah, year of accountability. Last year was the year of clarity. I see people saying all over the place, "Oh, we got to have a year of clarity." We had that last year. You sons of. So there's that. Year of accountability, year of clarity. Who debunked themselves in 2020? Again, let us know in the comments. If you enjoy the content, press like and subscribe. And watch our previous videos. This is our third video on the day. We've got like over an hour of content already. And yeah, I've been your host, Dan. Press like, press subscribe, leave a comment, share with your friends and foes. And oh, and make sure your accountability is legal. Talk to you next time.